Well, it's been a derby day of sorts in the Premier League. Janusz, we went from the Merseyside derby to now a couple of London derbies. And this time it is North meets West as Spurs got the better of Fulham 2-1. Straightforward win for Spurs, you think, Janusz?
Yes and no. I think for the most part, you would have to say yes. I think towards the end, obviously, when you lead 2-0, the game's almost over, and Aleksandar Mitrovic scores a goal, and then there's that press, right? I mean, Mitrovic had another chance, by the way, later on. It almost seems like it wasn't straightforward, but I think for Spurs, they control the game for the most part in general. Look, when you're talking about Spurs, but maybe I should say when you talk about Antonio Conte's team, there's never going to be fireworks for the most part. You know exactly how he wants to win the game. I've used pragmatic today probably enough. It's not necessarily that he's pragmatic, but certain principles are very, very important. And here's a team that's playing down to their principles because when you looked at the game, I've seen teams today alone that played more entertaining, but maybe didn't get the results that were needed. I look at Spurs in second place right now after 6 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, 12 goals scored, and 4 conceded. That tells me Antonio Conte, and it's going to be well balanced between the defense and between the attack. And on the plus side, let's face it, Harry Kane has the start that we haven't had a chance to speak about in the last few years ever, right? Because it's always slow, scores us 6 goals, and I'm sure the next question from you will be about Heung-min Son, right?
Well, yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go next, because the Spurs side of London is definitely feeling very confident thanks to that start that you just mentioned. But the one concern you may have is that Heung-min Son, after such a loud season last season, now is a bit more quiet than people probably would like. We know his quality, Janusz, but what's going on there?
Yeah, there's probably no explanation of that. That's why he continues to play. There were a lot of changes today with the Spurs team, right? And Kulusevski, who's been absolutely on fire, gave way in the lineup today for Richarlison. But you would have, the conventional wisdom would have told you, well, why not Son? He's underperforming. But it just goes to show how much Conte cares about Heung-min Son. It's obvious, he said that. And I think we all understand that he just needs that 1 goal or 2, and normal service will resume. He wanted him in that lineup, didn't want to take him out. And if you watch the game, you've seen that he's been involved. Honest player for sure, works extremely hard. Spurs had a late goal disallowed, which he set up. He was always involved on the break, maybe forcing a couple shots he had blocked where he didn't make the sort of contact. You could see it on his face. It wasn't even frustration. It was a smile on his part because he kind of said, here we go again, another week or another 3 or 4 days that everybody's going to talk about me not scoring. So look, what he did last season was exceptional. Even if he had a good start, I don't think he would have been in a race for the best goal scorer again. That's not his role. That's the role of Harry Kane, that is for sure. And I think he's going to get his a number of goals as well. Look, for me, he was hands down, the best player in the Premier League. Hands down. Obviously, Mo Salah was with him in terms of scoring, but I thought that Heung-min Son was the best player in the league last season. He should have gotten that award. So I am giving him a long, long leash. I didn't see anything wrong with that performance apart from scoring. So he'll come good.
It's just a matter of time. He will definitely come good. Someone who is coming good is Mitrovic. If we talk about Fulham now, of course, just how important is this form that he's found himself back in again for Fulham and their hopes of staying, in the Premier League, because then they come and then they suffer the drop. And then if you watch the Championship, they absolutely boss the Championship. So you do feel, and the fans feel, that they do belong in the Premier League. So how important is Aleksandar Mitrovic to that?
Well, what's he got? 5, 6 goals? 5 between him and Harry Kane. I can't remember. No, Mitrovic has 6. Harry Kane has 5. So 6 goals for Fulham this early in 6 games. It's obviously superb. As I've said, he had that chance very, very late for an equalizer. It was a bit of a deflection, and then Hugo Lloris came up with a massive save for him. Obviously, it's a different player. I think we all felt, it's not just me saying this now, in terms of hindsight, but I think we felt that this is a different team under Marco Silva, the way they came in, a lot more proactive, a team that wanted to play, a team that was built around them. Scott Parker, as we know, last time around, that was a defensive job. We've seen what happened with Bournemouth and Scott Parker already. He's gone. And Bournemouth, I think, even won today. They were 2-0 behind. They won 3-2. I'm not sure because we are doing these. They did. I
came back. They fought their way back against Forest.
So again, I know it's harsh, and I don't particularly like saying these things about managers. But Scott Parker, I just always felt that maybe wasn't the best sort of manager, in particular for Mitrovic. So I think the environment is different around him, not just the manager and Marco Silva, but also with the team that wants to play, wants to attack a little bit. And I think they're getting their reward. They've lost today, but 10th place right now, a lot of goodwill. And I think understanding from everybody in the league that Fulham are no pushover, and Mitrovic is a body, not just, they knew how physical and how good he was, but now he's got confidence on top of that. So of course, key player for Fulham going forward.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.